Hello everyone, this is Raul
This is Christy.
and welcome to another episode of Random Thoughts, episode 57.
57.
We're back. We took a little break, so we're back and we'll see what happens. So, I guess the first question first, how was your Easter weekend? Because I haven't seen you for a couple of weeks, right?
It's been a minute. It was all right. Holidays with the Outlaws are always
Fun.
Yeah. So, we're still that weird. I'm that weird glutton for punishment well, and I mean, my family is not around here, so when we do holidays, the ex's family comes over.
Well, there you go.
So, yeah.
So that was fun. So do you guys do Easter hunting anymore? I mean, your boys are
No.
pretty older now, so
Yeah, no, we don't. They still get a basket. This year, like Easter snuck up on me, so
Yeah.
I asked them like Tuesday before what they wanted for Easter. And then and so we ordered it and it wasn't even here. But they got candy. They got a basket. So when they were little, I used to do like a jelly bean trail from
Yeah.
the room and they'd have to find it.
Yeah.
But now we have the dog. So
yeah, the dog, you can't do that because the dog will eat
Yeah.
the jelly beans, right?
So no jelly bean trails anymore. They just wake up and they're on the table.
So the jelly bean trails, was that supposed to be like the bunny poop?
I don't know. It was something my mom did when we were
Okay.
kids. We always had a
Because
jelly bean trail.
or the bunny, because the bunny laid eggs, right? Supposedly, right? The bunny lays eggs for
I don't
Easter.
know how that works. Did you ever watch? So there was an Easter or a bunny movie like around Easter. What was it? Hop.
Hop. Okay.
Yeah, and it made me rethink jelly beans altogether because like
They would poop the
it
jelly
pooped
beans.
jelly beans. And I had a friend growing up who had a pet rabbit,
Yeah.
and like it reminded me of goats. Like it
Yeah.
was like it would just hop and just
Yeah.
leave a poop trail, and
Yeah.
like they'd let it hop all around their house,
Yeah.
and I was like, that is gross.
Yeah.
Even
Yeah.
as a child, I was like, that's
Yeah.
something wrong.
Yeah,
with
because
this.
remember I told you that
like
story
my mother
once.
would die.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I had a friend who had a rabbit, and it just shit everywhere.
Told you that story where we had a rabbit that would poop, and then
Yeah, was it your little?
my cousin
Yeah,
used to poop
eat
and
the
put it
chocolate candies
he
that
put
were
it
left.
in the BB gun,
Yeah.
right? He put it in the BB gun, and then he was shooting that because we had run out of BBs. So I always remember that one story. So
Oh, it must be prom
I think
somewhere.
it
There are
is.
people
It
walking
is
behind us
prom.
very well dressed. Who's prom?
I don't know.
Scottsboro's?
It must be Scottsboro prom.
It's awful warm. Well, I mean, I guess
Yeah.
I don't know. Do you want to
Yeah.
be warm or cold for prom? They're probably
Well,
doing pictures.
Yeah, they're doing pictures. It must be tonight.
I don't know,
Or
man.
is it
Prom
tomorrow?
has gotten so
Hard.
well. Now it's like you got to have
Social
promposals, and you got like people like we took pictures for
Yeah.
prom, but like my mom's camera in the backyard. And now it's like you make appointments with professional
Yeah.
photographers. And now the girls go and they have like a trial run with hair and makeup. I mean, it's all a lot.
Yeah, and then you gotta post your pictures on social media.
Well, I mean, you can't do. I mean, it didn't happen if you didn't post it on
Yeah.
social media.
Yeah,
So,
so,
but
yeah.
anyway, I like that red dress. That's pretty.
Yeah. I mean, that's
At least
a
this
lot
year.
of
So like
pressure.
homecoming pictures this year, because homecoming is now like as formal as prom.
Yeah.
And all those dresses, look, moms of girls, I hope I'm not being offensive, but they were a little too short and slutty and tight for my liking.
Yeah.
At least it seems like the style of prom dress is long.
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
a little dressier and classier.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, prom. I mean, I remember my girls did prom. I
Yeah.
mean, it was a whole shebang. They had to get.
Yeah, but it wasn't like it is now.
No. It was,
You had professional photographers?
Well, yeah.
Were you down here in the South? when that
Yeah.
happened? Maybe it's just a Southern thing. Man,
Yeah.
for my prom, we took pictures in the backyard and that was it.
Yeah.
With like somebody's camera, of course not,
Yeah. Yeah. So for my
Yeah.
prom, I just took mugshots. I was in Mexico and getting drunk.
Nice. Nice.
Right.
But
So.
prom down here, and instead of like a corsage or like a wrist thing,
Yeah.
now they get like a whole bouquet of flowers.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I mean,
It all
they go
just
all
seems
out.
like it seems
Yeah.
like a lot.
Yeah. It's a lot. It's a lot.
It's another one of those moments that
It's
I'm
gotta be
like,
expensive too, though.
I'm grateful
I mean,
for
those prom
boys.
dresses are not cheap. Because I remember when the girls for prom, we had to go look for dresses,
yeah.
and I mean everything was like over $100.
Oh, that's $100 would be cheap now.
$100 would be cheap. And,
My friend, had both her girls went to prom this year. One's a senior, one's a junior, and I think she spent like $700 on dresses. Now that doesn't include like they go get their nails done and they get their makeup
hair
done
done.
and they get their hair done,
pictures.
and then you got to pay for a photographer, and it's like that is just
Yeah.
It's expensive.
It's expensive.
Yeah.
So there you go. I mean, this was pretty random. I mean, we're just hanging out the park.
Well, I mean, some fancy dress walks by. You pay attention.
So
Is there? Speaking of random, is Big Bass Splash this weekend?
I don't know. I've been seeing
a lot of boats everywhere.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the weather's nice.
Well, yeah, but these are that guy that just drove by.
Yeah,
like he's clearly sponsored.
He's clearly sponsored. So they
So-
might be doing a trial run. I don't know, because they come in weeks before to test and find a good fishing spot before the tournament, right? So
Yes.
it's like
I mean, do fish stay in the same place, or do they?
No, they move.
So
I
what
imagine
good
they
does it
move.
do to come and
Well-
scope out spots?
Well, no, I mean, I guess if the water temperature stays about the same, I think they
Yeah.
stay in the same vicinity, right?
I imagine the water temperature has changed drastically in the last
Yeah.
couple weeks, because it was like 50 last week, and today it's
Yeah.
almost 90.
Yeah. So as long as the water temperature stays quite, about the same between now and when the
I don't know when the
tournament is, they'll basically be in the same spot. But
Googling it.
yeah, I'm not a fisherman, so I don't know. Don't
Isn't it
take
called the
my
big-
word for anything, because my fishing is throw the rod in the water and then just sit down and drink beer and act like you're fishing in case the game warden came by, right? So that was my type of fishing.
There you go.
Right,
I'm
so-
Googling.
I'm not a
I
avid
better do that
fisherman,
Oops.
right? Other than that, and then that's about it. But yeah, it could
Did
be.
you guys have a good Easter? I didn't even ask.
Well, my girls are
You still
older,
get-
so
No, it says it's April, right? Yeah, it
Yeah.
says that was in March, like late March.
late March. Might be another one coming up. I don't
I
know.
don't know.
But no, I mean for Easter, when was that anyways? Was that
It was
last
last
weekend?
weekend. Yeah, it was last weekend.
Okay, so okay, I'm lost. It wasn't the weekend before. It was last weekend, right?
Yeah.
It wasn't okay, but no, yeah. So I guess
Oh, there is a tournament this weekend at Goose
yeah?
Pond Colony.
So-
Casting and catching.
okay. So that's
Or I'm sorry, we don't put the G on the end of words in the South. Casting and catching.
casting and catching.
Fishing
And
tournament,
fishing.
April 23rd.
Yeah,
That's
so-
tomorrow, right? Yeah, because
Yeah.
tomorrow's
Tomorrow's
starts.
the 23rd. Yeah. So no, I mean last weekend I really didn't do anything other than put some love into Lucille.
Yeah.
I
Still didn't
you
replace
know,
the windshield, I see.
Friday, no, not yet. I should have. So Friday I went, had the oil changed. Of course, I went and found. I normally don't eat breakfast, so I went and ate breakfast at some place that I'd never been before.
What do you mean you
It was
don't eat
pretty good.
breakfast? I always
It was
eat
like
breakfast.
a waffle. They call it a womelet.
That sounds
So
awful.
it was like a omelet battered with egg and then kind of like a
An omelet is egg, so was
Yeah.
it an omelet battered with waffle stuff?
Well, no, it was a waffle battered with egg.
So was it like French toast
No,
waffles?
no, it was like an omelet, but
Oh.
with the waffle folded over.
Oh, all right.
I mean, it sounds weird, but it was good.
Sounds terrible.
It was delicious.
Sounds
It was
awful.
delicious. It was if you like
I
waffles.
would not have ordered that.
If you
That
like
would not be
waffles
like
and
you got,
an omelet.
when in Rome for
That was
me.
good.
I'd have been like, no. I'm not
You would have
trying.
liked it because it was like vegetarian. There was no meat in it.
I've kind of given that up a little bit lately.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was kind
You're
of fooling
back.
myself into thinking I was eating healthy, and I really wasn't.
No.
Yeah.
You're eating too many carbs.
I mean, I eat too many carbs all the time anyway. So.
Drink too many carbs. Yeah. So
Now,
I did that.
My doctor said as long as it's clear liquor, it's not as many carbs.
Tequila is the best if you're gonna drink hard liquor.
No, it's not.
it's the
Tequila is
lowest-
terrible.
It's the lowest in carbs as far as
Also the highest in PTSD experiences for me.
experiences. Flashbacks. Yeah.
Me and tequila spent too much time together in
Yeah.
college.
So on Saturday I went and got the wheels and tires rotated because I hadn't done that in a while. And again, I went out for breakfast, obviously, because it was early in the morning. That day I just ate too much.
Yeah.
I ate way too much for breakfast. And then Sunday was Easter, and I didn't do anything Sunday.
Yeah. Well,
Nothing. I just
I
nothing.
cooked all day.
Other than watching Netflix, and that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, nothing really did on that portion of the weekend. And speaking of Lucille, I entered her into a Jeep show. There's a
Oh,
Jeep
yeah?
show over by the house tomorrow, at the Buckhorn High School.
So you're not running the race tomorrow that I backed out of?
No, I ain't gonna run by my. I was gonna bring that up, but now that since you're bringing it up, so Christy's pretty busy, and then you got to do tours, right?
Oh, I'm working all weekend.
Yeah.
So so it's Cornbread Festival, which apparently is a huge deal.
Yeah.
And so tomorrow he has to be there from 7:30 to 11:30.
Yeah.
For his Beta Club volunteer hours. I have to be there tomorrow. I may go in earlier to help. And it looks like this is chaos. This is madness. It's all like right in front of where I work. I don't even know if I can get there tomorrow.
Because everything's like right there, right?
Yeah. So, but we opened the Foundry up for tours, and apparently like 1 year 30,000 people came through the Foundry for tours.
Yeah.
And anybody who knows me knows how much I love crowds.
Yeah.
So I'm really looking forward to that.
You're a crowd pleaser.
I hate crowds. So yeah, and then Sunday, because now I am a Rotary Club member, I am serving pancakes at the pancake breakfast, and then apparently doing something in the cornbread kitchen at the elementary school until about lunchtime. And then hopefully I'm going to go home, but then I got to be back there at 3 o'clock for one of the bands.
One of the bands?
So
you're gonna play in the band, or you're gonna
no?
Listen to the band?
I just have to help with the stuff. So
help with what stuff? Serving alcohol?
I mean, just like I don't know if I'm taking tickets or whatever, but so and that's from 3 to I don't know when.
Yeah, that's a long weekend.
Yeah,
busy. It's gonna go pretty fast, right?
Probably. I'm still trying to figure out like when am I gonna get groceries, do laundry, and
Monday.
And do the yard. Well, Monday I got to go in early, and I'm staying late. I'm doing this training series, and it's my late night for the training series with the second shift guys. So I don't know.
Oh, I'm already exhausted.
Get done.
I'm already exhausted.
I know everybody always says to me, they're like, I don't know how you, and then between there, the kids have stuff, so everybody always tells me they don't know how I do it, and I'm like, well,
I always tell you I don't know how you do it.
Well, I did it. I'm doing it by not podcasting as often.
Yeah.
And not running that race. So now am I forgiven for not running that race? Also, I haven't run since we did the superhero 5K, which was awful because I hadn't run much before then. Yeah. So.
But you did good, right? So we did the superhero 5K.
Time.
It was but you placed, right?
Yeah, but not with a good time. It was a terrible time.
Yeah,
I placed in my age group because a bunch of old ladies.
Group, right? I didn't place in my age group, and there's a bunch of old guys.
So, yeah, but that dude, No, you're not in the same age group with that guy. One of the guys in your age group qualified for the Boston Marathon.
No, he was probably younger than. He was probably in the group, the 40.
I bet not.
40 or 49.
I bet not. The overall winner for the females, what was she? 11? Because she also
12,
ran the fun run.
She was 12, yeah.
Lord, not only did she win the 5K, she then afterwards ran the fun run.
And the fun run is really slow though, right? So, anyways,
there were only like 4 kids in it.
Anyway, so that was her first. That was her first race. That was her first 5K race, actually. Yeah. Because I know she's the daughter.
That's a hell of a way to start.
Yeah, she's the daughter of one of our suppliers.
Oh.
Right, and he was
her mom was trying to keep up with her the whole way. So.
No, the mom wasn't there.
Oh, I thought the woman that was like kind of like pretty close behind her was with her.
No, that was she was there with her dad.
Oh, well, she did pretty great.
Yeah, I mean, she did pretty good.
She did pretty good.
She had a good time.
I am gonna say this: it was a little less organized than it has been in the past.
Yeah, I think it was because it was
the like door prize thing was really confusing.
Yeah,
was there a problem with like the
timekeepers?
Yeah, there's something going on there.
There was a problem with the timekeeper, so that's what threw everything kind of out of whack.
Because you probably had like people that just didn't even stay that got door prizes that are like, I'm out.
Yeah, it was.
Because they were giving away medals and door prizes hadn't been given out.
Yeah, it was wacky. It got wacky, so it kind of threw everything for a loop.
But not terrible overall, turnout considering it was freezing cold and really windy.
Yeah, it was really cold.
It was really windy.
Based on
miserable.
I think we had like 68 people that actually ran. And that doesn't include the people that were there.
Yeah. I saw
that didn't run.
You raised over 10 grand though, which is pretty
raised
awesome.
Like 10,500 or something like that.
That's awesome.
So that goes to
Jackson County Children's
Advocacy Group, right?
I'm not gonna lie, I was really thrown when the guy from the advocacy center said, you know, that they do forensic interviews with children who have been abused. And like in Jackson County, like what did he say? He did like 15 that month already. Yeah. 15 just in, and they just served that county. I was like, good Lord.
Yeah. I mean,
it's terrible.
That is not good, but
it's terrible. I mean, it's great that they provide that service, but it's awful that they have to provide it that often.
Yeah, it's awful that they have to provide it.
That's every other day of the month.
Yeah, that's every other day of the month.
And that's only the ones that get reported.
Yeah. So
that's terrible.
Yeah, so I mean,
because you know, like the number that are being reported is probably like 10% of the amount that's happening. I don't know what those stats are, but
I don't know what the stats are.
But it's awful.
It would be that, but
that really threw me off. What are you doing there with our numbers?
With our numbers?
With our
no, I was just turning off the other mics that we're not using, so it doesn't, use more power.
Oh, I got you. All right.
Anyways, so the Superhero 5K. I mean, it was cold.
It was misery.
And it was a little windy, but I think, we did pretty good considering that we hadn't both been training that much, right? You tried.
I don't know, man. Running, I don't know. I think I'm going to give it up for a while.
I think you weren't mentally there.
Oh, absolutely not. I was not
mentally there.
Yeah,
so.
I was not in it. I was cold. My toe hurt. I was pretty miserable, and I just really was not in the mood to race.
Yeah. But you did good.
So.
You did good. You placed, and that's what matters, right? Both you and Jay placed, right?
Yeah, we both got third in our age group. We got there. He saw one of the other schools in the county. Their cross country, like 4 or 5 of their track team members were in there, and one of them's like first in the county and everything. And Jay was like, "Well, I'm not gonna medal," and I was like, "Don't say that. You might."
Yeah.
So.
So I mean, that was good.
I like that.
You guys kept the tradition going.
Yeah, I like that 5K because we both go. And he was going to run the cornbread with me, but he has to work it. And the cornbread is hard. And I saw the trail as I was taking the back way home today. They're starting you out with the big awful hill. Yeah. And you end with a big awful hill.
Oh yeah, like I remember that.
So I'm not upset. Tough. I might even. Well, I probably won't sleep in, but I'm gonna
It was tough.
I'm not gonna be sad that I don't go.
I mean,
So I got my volunteer shirt, and my parking pass, and my bracelet, so I can get in tomorrow and greet 30,000 people. I'm sure 30,000 people won't go through while I'm.
And then go through the foundry, give tours, and it's hot.
It won't be hot in the foundry. It won't be running.
It won't be running. So
no, they're not going to run.
Oh, that's good.
I won't have to be. I'm not going to be in the foundry. I'll be like the greeter when they come in. I think. I don't know. I'll find out when I get there.
Well, that's good though. You don't have not a lot of walking. Keep your toe.
So
healthy,
my toe's fine now.
Oh, it's fine now.
Yeah, I haven't run on it in a month.
No, I mean, the 5K was only about 2 weeks ago, right?
It's fine. Oh, I don't know. It feels like it was longer than that. But it's all healed now, I think.
Yeah.
So I might get up and go to yoga in the morning. I don't know.
You've kept going to the gym, so that's still.
Yeah. Except, I haven't been since Tuesday. My trainer's like, "Where are you at?" And I'm like, "Working, man. We got cornbread stuff." So
there you go. At least you're keeping up. Maybe you're not running as much, but at least you kept up with the gym, right? How about your girlfriends? Have they?
No, they ditched me. It's just me now.
It's just you. Maybe that was the whole plan.
Why? It was their idea to go.
Well, maybe they wanted to hook you up with somebody in the gym or something.
Well,
because you remember, after you first hit the gym, you start getting a lot of messages.
Yeah.
Right. So
I didn't respond to any of them.
Maybe that was the whole plan. Is put you there in the gym and.
I don't think that was the plan.
No.
No. No.
Well, then how did they get your information?
My girlfriends, they already had it.
The guys that were.
Well, because some of the people that are there, I already know. There's a bunch of people from work there, which is not my favorite thing. I imagine they just ask.
They just asked?
Yeah.
So who's that?
And we sign in. We have to sign in every day, so they can just look my name up.
You just look your name up in Facebook and that looks like her. Okay.
So, but I don't think my Facebook picture doesn't look like me because my hair's straight in it.
It still looks like you. It's still your face.
Okay.
Your hair might look different, but your eyes don't
I'll have to put a new picture.
I have to say
recognize me.
The eyes don't lie, right?
I don't know. Is that
true?
See
your eyes. They can pretty much.
Can they see my eyes right now in my sunglasses?
I can see your eyes through the sunglasses, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. You gotta get new sunglasses.
I mean, I can't see your eye color, but I can see I can see the outline.
I had a weird question at work the other day. Some dude said, "Does your eye color change?" And I was like, "No."
Tell them. You should tell them. Yeah, it depends on the mood.
Yeah.
What color are
My
they?
mood changes.
Yeah.
They're mood eyes instead
They're mood
of like
eyes,
a mood
like
ring.
like the mood
That
rings
was,
with the mood
and then
eyes.
some I had a third party audit. I don't know, Monday or Tuesday, and he's like, "And I have a question for you at the end of this when
And we're all
that's
done.
not work related." And I was like, "Okay." And he's like, "Are you wearing your hair longer?" And I was like, "What kind of weird question is that?" I was like, "What do you mean? Is it longer? Like it grows?
Yeah.
You haven't been here in like 6 months, so yeah, it's probably a little bit longer than the last time you were here."
Yeah.
Weirdo.
Yeah.
And then he's like, "Can I get a card to shop at the store?" And I'm like, "Yeah, dude, go away." So
Can I get your
it's
employee
like-
discount?
Yeah. Well, they all think that when we give it, so if I sign my business card and put a date on it, that date
Okay.
they can take it to the store, and they think they get the employee discount, but they don't.
They don't.
They get a discount.
A discount, but not the employee
So,
discount.
Yeah,
Well,
and it depends on whether we make it in the foundry or if it's something we just sell in
Yeah.
the store.
Yeah. So.
So the store is bumping this weekend. It
Yeah.
was slammed
was-
today
I'm
in
sure it
in
is.
the
You got all kinds of people
festival.
coming in. You guys do discounts too while the
They
cornbread?
run a big sale, and
Big
then folks
sales?
from the other stores come in. So we have like all the other store managers are in this week, and
helping out.
yeah.
That's cool.
And then
Sounds like
half
a-
of our marketing team and our distribution
Yeah.
center employees were all setting up today.
I mean, it is a big It's a big thing.
Apparently, it's a very big deal. I'm
It
not
is.
looking forward
I mean,
to it.
you know, when we were there for the first cornbread race, I mean, I was amazed as you know how big it was.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
that's the
'Cause
only time I've ever
there.
been.
Yeah, that's the
Yeah.
only time I've ever been too. So
And
you
apparently,
know,
there's a bunch of bands coming.
I was surprised at how big that festival was.
Apparently, it's a very big deal.
So,
It's a very big deal to the city. So,
oh yeah, I'm sure the city gets the
and everybody thinks that it's our festival. It's not our festival. We're just
you're a sponsor.
ginormous
You're just a big
supporter
you're
of
a big
it.
sponsor, right? Because
I don't know that we
it's the
sponsor
name.
any of it as much as we just.
The name,
we
just
all
the name alone.
show up.
Just the name alone brings in the people, right?
Oh, I don't know.
Everybody recognizes
You
Lodge.
wouldn't think cornbread would be.
Yeah,
Well, I mean, the
Cornbread
lodge
Festival,
name is
but-
not on the festival.
Cornbread Festival.
It's just the Cornbread Festival. It's
Oh.
the National Cornbread Festival.
But see, I don't know. When I think.
But
of
a
the
lot of
Cornbread
people in the
Festival,
South, they
yeah.
use their cast iron to make
Yeah.
cornbread. So.
Yeah. So when I hear Cornbread Festival, the first thing that comes to my mind is Lodge because
Yeah.
I've connected the two. You know,
Oh.
Cornbread Festival
Alright.
and then Lodge, and then when.
I didn't even think about Lodge before I worked there. It was just I didn't realize how big it was.
Yeah. I mean, I knew
So-
Lodge. I mean, obviously because from the cast iron
I
stuff,
didn't.
but you did? No.
I didn't, and now I'm their corporate safety person.
Yeah.
So there you go.
I mean, I recognize it from the stores where you see the Lodge cast iron, and then
It is weird to walk into a store and see like, hey, we made that.
Yeah, and then
That might have
yeah.
been made last week.
And then the one time I was here back in early 2000, 2001 or something, when I came down here, we did end up in Chattanooga by accident.
How do you end up in Chattanooga by
So
accident?
so there's the story. It was me and Steve Jacobo, right?
That
It's
explains it.
the first time we had both been
That
here.
explains it.
It's the first time we had both been here, right? So we didn't know the area, right?
That's like
Um,
60 miles out of your way.
yeah.
Like, at what point did you realize you were going the wrong direction?
When we saw the sign that said,
You're no longer in the state of Alabama?
yeah. So
But
anyways,
even then, you went another 30 miles.
Yeah. We just, I don't know. Anyway, so here's what happened, right? So we were down here for doing, coming. It was the first time I ever visited the plant here, and it was the first time he visited the plant, and that was when I was doing some of the ACE stuff, right? So we came down here to see, what you guys were doing with the ACE and all that other stuff, and I think that's the first time I met you, way back then.
If it was back in 2000, I hadn't been here very
No,
long.
2001, 2002.
Oh, yeah. I hadn't been there. Well, I've been there
When
about
did you
2
start?
years. 2000.
Yeah, so it was somewhere in 2001, 2002 when we were
That was
down
my
here.
first, like,
Because
real lone job out of
yeah,
college.
Because you were the safety person. I remember you Christy Yates.
I wasn't a Yates
You
then,
weren't
no.
you weren't a Yates back then.
Yeah.
Christy Whistler, the safety person, right? Is how we
They
knew
never
you.
called me the safety person, though. They
You were the safety coordinator or something like that. Is what was your title, right?
coordinator's the title, but that's still not what they call me.
Oh, they called you the safety.
I was the safety bitch.
The safety. I didn't want to say, it, but yeah,
Yeah.
Christy.
They called me
was
the
safety bitch.
Today we were walking up in the festival to go to help with something, and our VP of sales is like, "Why'd you all bring the safety czar?" And I was like, "Well, there's a new one."
Yeah. So we were down here, and then it was one of the days where we were going out for dinner. It was just me and him. And so we're like, well, let's go find a place to eat. We've never been here, so we knew Ruby Tuesdays was there. We're like, no, we don't want to eat at Ruby Tuesday. So the shoe store at the, what is that? The Shoe Connection, or what is it called? So still
that or shoe department, I don't know.
Yeah, yeah. So that we stopped at the shoe store just to go in there to, you know, see what they had and everything. We asked, hey, you know, where's a good barbecue place? Because we were, you know, from Arizona.
God,
we're like,
you were
barbecue.
headed to Hollywood.
Well, we thought he was. Anyway, so
still went 40 miles out of your way.
Well, we were trying to find Mud Creek Barbecue.
Yeah, which is like 10 minutes from Scottsboro.
Well,
you still went 40 miles.
Well, yeah, so that's what we're trying to find. And
men and their inability to ask for directions.
We said,
that's what that's the moral of the story.
What's a good barbecue place? And they're like, oh, you know, there's Mud Creek Barbecue. I was like, well, where's that? Well, everything around here is just down the road, right?
I mean, it literally is down the road. It's like stay on the same road for like 8 miles and turn right.
Well, that's not down the road to me. To me, down the road is like, hey, you know, a couple blocks or something, right?
So you went 60 miles.
So anyways, so we're like, all right, so yeah, he says, just go, you know, come out, take a right on the 72 and, you know, go down the road a couple miles and a few miles and you'll see a sign for Mud Creek Barbecue. And we're like, all right. So we started heading down the road.
It's not just a sign, it was a billboard.
Well, we didn't see it at all.
I used to be able to walk to that
Maybe
restaurant
back then
from
they
my
didn't
house.
have a billboard. Maybe just a little sign.
I don't know.
Back in 2001, I don't know, 2001 somewhere in there. So we just kept driving. We're like, I don't see it. So we just kept going. You know, then we ended up in Section, and we're like, well,
that's not even the same direction. Section.
I mean, not
is like
Section,
backwards.
Stevenson.
Oh,
Stevenson.
okay. I was like, you
Stevenson.
all are.
Stevenson. So
Stevenson, the great metropolis.
Yeah. So we drove through Stevenson.
Home sweet home.
I was like, Steve, did we miss? He's like, I don't know. Keep going. So we just keep going. Well, I said, well, let's keep driving and see.
Yeah,
you know,
there's literally no restaurant between here and there.
There's not, but we didn't know.
There's nothing.
This is the first time here, right? So we didn't know. So
there's
we
not even a fast food joint until you get to Stevenson.
Yeah, so we kept driving. And, you know, McDonald's. I was like, I don't know McDonald's. I was like, keep going. Maybe there's another town. That was before GPS. We didn't have GPS, right? So we just kept going, and we're like, man, where are we headed? Until we hit, you know,
24.
South Pittsburgh. And I remember hitting South Pittsburgh because the first thing I noticed was the sign that said Lodge.
Oh, and we circle back around.
Lodge Cast Iron. Lodge Cast
yeah.
Iron, right? And it had this arrow that said Lodge Factory Store or whatever. I'm like, hey, look, you know, the Lodge.
Gosh, and now it looks so different from it did back then. Now we have 2 foundries and a new factory store and
because I think
ginormous employee building.
Didn't they have the Lodge store like right off of the 72?
No, it is now, but it wasn't before. It was like in South Pittsburgh.
So anyway, so we just kept going, and we're like South Pittsburgh, and then
that's our marketing building now.
And then we kept going until we hit the 24?
Yeah.
Yeah, we hit the 24 and
the 24, the Tennessee, the interstate.
Yeah,
in Tennessee.
Yeah, in Tennessee was like,
well,
no
what
longer
do we do?
In the
state of Alabama.
And then they said, well, Chattanooga. I was like, well, hey, Chattanooga. Well, let's go to Chattanooga. We thought it was like down the road. We didn't know Chattanooga was still another 15 miles on the 24 or whatever. More than that, probably, right?
See, that is my people who like to just lazy Sunday drive. I will never understand it. Yeah. Like people who say, I forgot to eat today. I have never forgotten to eat.
Yeah.
I've never forgotten to eat. I have never enjoyed a lazy drive. I just want, why would you not take...
it wasn't a lazy drive. We were hungry, right? So we're just trying to find a place to eat. So we kept going until, you know, we hit, you know, and then we hit, you know, welcome to Tennessee, and then we went around the corner. I was like, welcome to Georgia. I was like, what the hell? We're in Georgia again. Then we went around the corner. Welcome to Tennessee again. I was like, what the hell? We're just in Tennessee, Georgia, and Tennessee.
It's that little corner
within
of
a mile.
I mean, I get to Georgia or Tennessee within 15 minutes.
I was like, look, I was like, God, dude, we've been in 3 states.
Yeah, still haven't found a restaurant to eat at.
Found a place to eat. And then we saw that big, what is it, Fat Daddy's Fireworks? Big Daddy's Fireworks off of the 24. And we're like, check that place out. So we were like, well, we just kept going until we hit Chattanooga. And then we were in Chattanooga, and we're like, well, what do? We don't know Chattanooga. So he's like, well, take this exit. So we took this exit, you know, and say, well, let's see what we find out. But at that point, it was dark. It was already dark. So in Chattanooga, it was about 7 o'clock already, probably.
Which was 8 o'clock because you're now in a different time zone as well.
And so we found this restaurant. Was like, well, let's eat here. I was like, so we got off. It looks like a decent restaurant. Well, I guess, you know, we ended up, you know, and it didn't look like one of the best places in town, right? I mean, it wasn't the best part of town, but there was this steakhouse, and we went in there, and everybody was like all dressed up. We're like, what the hell? you know, we're just jeans and shirts, and we ended up in this fancy steakhouse. You know, we sat down, and you know, we ended up spending like back then. I mean, back then it was like about $100 for dinner, which is quite a bit.
Yeah.
Right. So we, you know, we ate dinner there, and then we're like, well, I guess we got to drive back. So you know, we drove all the way back, and on the way back, we're like, well, let's start. We stopped at. I said, well, let's check this place out, because for us it was like, you know, huge. I mean, this thing is huge, right? That Big Daddy's Fireworks.
It is a pretty big place.
It's a big, huge place. We were like in amazement. I was like, wow, you know, it's such a huge place for fireworks.
Yeah.
So I was like, we got to go in there. So we went in there.
It's like shot glass heaven. And
yeah, so that's
beer
what.
Mugs
yeah, beer mugs, t-shirts, tacky hats. Yeah. So we're like, well, I said, well, I'm here. I might as well take some souvenirs. So I ended up with 2 little shot glasses. Yeah. Obviously, I mean, I'm Mexican, right?
We used to collect shot glasses, man. I bet before I bought this house, that was our thing. We always had shot glasses. Anywhere we went or anywhere somebody else went, they would bring us a shot glass back. And I bet I threw them away. I tried to give them away. Nobody wanted them. But I bet I had like 500 of them.
500 shot glasses.
And we bought like shot glass cases. Then I have to ship it all out. Yeah, but then, and we had them like in shot glass cases, and they were in the kids' toy room. It's like we were so trashy. But I was like, I don't want. In fact, we gave away a shot glass at our wedding reception.
To every person.
We had one. Yeah, everybody got one.
Christy,
we had it. Yeah, we had like our wedding date on it, and then.
You still have one?
No, I don't have any. I have one shot glass that my dad brought me back from Peru.
So you were drinking tequila out of that shot glass when you were mowing the lawn with your wedding dress?
No.
No.
No, remember my divorce drink was
vodka?
Was Captain and Diet Coke.
Captain and Diet Coke.
Yeah.
There you go. Captain and Diet Coke in little shot glasses.
Like a gallon at a time.
As you down there, you just
not my best time. It's not my best
moment. Just throw it
moment.
and then run it over with the lawnmower.
Yeah. So, no, I threw them all away. I know the trash people hated me because that trash can was heavy.
Oh, I'm sure it was.
Anything that wouldn't burn.
Yeah.
Anything that wouldn't burn went in the trash. Wedding dresses burn.
Yeah.
Quickly.
It
burned very fast.
It melted probably, right?
So does hunting gear, FYI.
Hunting gear?
Hunting gear also burns quickly.
You didn't burn any guns and stuff.
No.
You didn't throw ammo in the fire or anything.
No, and I didn't burn anything without permission. I was like, you're either going to come get it or it's going in the burn pile.
And he said, just burn it.
So he came and got what he wanted, and then it went in the burn pile.
Yeah. A big old bonfire, right?
I mean, I figured that was like 3 years after we got divorced, so I figured if you didn't want it at this point.
Yeah. Okay.
So, this podcast, our whole conversation is very entertaining.
Well, some
people are loving it. I don't think so.
Some people are probably being entertained, like, these guys are.
I don't think so.
These guys are
crazy.
Like,
God, Christy's life is chaos but boring. The woman has no life.
So, but yeah, so that was my story there for
how you were supposed to go 8 miles for dinner and ended up 60
miles away in Chattanooga.
I'm not sure I would share that story with people.
Chattanooga that's the first time I ever been to Chattanooga. I didn't even know Chattanooga
I was just in Chattanooga on Wednesday.
Yeah.
We did a team building event at Sweet and Savory.
Oh yeah.
We took a cooking class.
All right. What'd you learn how to cook?
Pasta.
That's pretty easy.
Pasta we made the pasta.
Yeah. Oh, that's cool.
And we made
scratch?
a berry tart, and we made this weird like potato ciabatta bread. It was not good.
No. There you go. So now you know how to make pasta from scratch.
My table. So we had 2 tables. The other table got to mix up the pasta. Although I mean, it's basically you're just doing it like dough. Yeah. You're just not using this. You're not using the same ingredients, but it's basically dough.
Yeah.
My table chopped up all the stuff for the sauce because there was a sausage fettuccine, sausage Alfredo or something.
Okay.
It was good. That was fun.
Yeah, I imagine it's fun to make that pasta and then you cook it. And was it good?
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, that's good.
Nobody got sick.
I've never had fresh pasta, so people say that it tastes a lot different than.
I didn't think it tasted that different. No? It had a little bit different texture.
Different texture.
Yeah.
Kind of like a dumpling or what?
No, it was still thin.
I mean the texture or not?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, it was a little. I don't want to say thicker, softer maybe, but like so growing up, and I'm not sure who it was. They would make like homemade I always called them egg noodles or like for chicken and noodles. Those were really thick.
Yeah.
But those are usually hand cut because like we use the little
like
pasta
little
cutter
Yokies,
thing.
or they call them like Yokies.
No, it's not that. It's like it's like a thick doughy noodle. You can buy them at the store now.
Okay.
It's kind of like dumplings,
Like
but you
those
cut
egg
them
noodles?
up. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
So anyway, all right.
Yeah,
What else you want to talk about?
Oh, I did. So I'm in, people. I'm in the salsa competition on next Saturday. So if you got nothing to do next Saturday, and they're gonna have salsa on the square in downtown Scottsboro. There's a salsa competition. I believe it starts at now I don't even know what time it is. I think it starts at 10.
I'm sure there's a Facebook page for
I
it.
think there's a Facebook page.
It'd be weird unless you're gonna have like salsa and eggs to start it much earlier. Do you have to cook it while you're there, or you just have to show up with it?
You got to take it pre-packaged. So I got to figure out how I'm going to do the logistics.
Do you not know how
of that.
to can stuff?
Well, you got to take it in those little 3 1/4 ounce condiment things with the lid. So I got to
just go to like Walmart or Sam's Club. And
I got to buy those, and then I got to figure out how to. I got to. I know how to package
you're gonna
them.
spoon it out into the dish. And
Yeah.
put a lid on it.
I just got to figure out where I'm gonna keep it, because I got to do it all the night before.
How many of them do you have to have?
Like 350.
350?
Yeah.
How many gallons of salsa is that?
They said anywhere from 6 to 7 gallons of salsa.
It's a lot of tomatoes.
So
I will not be able to cheer you on because I will be at the district or the sectional
track meet. That's cool though. That you're going to. Where's it going to be at?
It's in Huntsville.
Huntsville?
So I have a problem because it's a 2-day event. Jay will run.
Is it at
both Friday and Saturday?
That big complex?
No, it's at a high school.
High school.
But Jay runs Friday and Saturday, and Friday, of course, is class day.
Yeah.
And I can't find. I messaged my boss to see if somebody could
substitute?
cover my class, and my class is field tripping.
Yeah.
So today was the last lecture day of my class. And I told them all at the end, I was like, well, guys, that's it. That's the last time you're going to hear me, read PowerPoint slides and tell you all about the exciting life of a safety person and the things you'll have to think about as engineers, because next week we're touring another. So we've done 3 tours.
You went to...
we toured a company I worked for years ago that's in that area, that's in Jasper.
West Rock? Was it called
No, that was Valmont. We toured a company. They make steel utility poles.
Okay.
It's basically a giant weld shop.
Okay.
And then we toured Lodge last week.
Okay.
And then did I send you a picture of my class?
No.
And then next week, one of the guys in my class, I don't want to call him a kid because he's actually he's a full-time employee for another company that we're going to tour on Friday, which is Colonial Chemical, and they make all the surfactants for like soaps and oils and lubricants. So there's my class.
Oh, you got to move a little bit back because
because your eyes are old.
I gotta focus. Yeah. Okay.
So anyway,
there you go.
That's
your class.
There's my kiddos. But anyway, so today they're like, I said, so this is it, and I hadn't assigned them homework in a while. But they have a final project, and they're like, are we gonna have to do that? And I was like, yeah. So they have a quiz this week. They'll have to turn in, then we'll tour, and then the following week will be their final test, and they'll turn in their final project.
29th is their final.
No, the 6th.
Oh,
so
the
29th is a tour.
Okay. All right, because that's next week.
But and they're like 10 out of 10.
Okay.
They said 10 out of 10 I'd recommend you. Good job, teach. I was like
10 out of 10. There you go.
I was like, that's a thing now where they're like, I give it a 10 out of 10. I'm
10
good. Like
10.
my kids say stuff like that. I give it a 2 out of 10. It's terrible. So 10 out of 10. I got a 10 out of 10 from my
2 Michelin stars
from my kids. So
that's cool though.
Yeah.
So what are you thinking? Doing it again, or was it too stressful?
I don't know. I mean, it was more work than I thought it would be. It won't be as overwhelming if I do it next year. I'm not gonna lie, being on a Friday, it sucks.
Yeah.
Because if I want to take a weekend off or whatever, but really in combination because of this other thing I'm doing at work, I'm doing this leadership training with our supervisors, like how to be good safety leaders, which is every Monday.
Okay.
So it's more like it sucks because I can't really take a weekend off because either on Friday I have class or on Monday I have my other professor job that I'm doing at work.
Weekend, right?
So so and that one goes through November, so I'll I can take a Friday off after May 6th.
After May 6th?
After May 6th, I can take a Friday off.
Right in time for summer vacation, right?
I know, and school's
Summer
almost
break.
out. And then, so my brother's birthday was this week, and he turned 47. My dad calls me because, you know, my dad, I'm the person he calls when he's having moments. So he's having a moment. He's like, I just got a phone with your brother. And I'm like, yeah. And he goes, he's telling me how old he is. And he's like, you know, Chris, you know what really hit me today? I was like, that Mike's 47. And he was like, no, Jay's going to be 18. And I was like, no shit, Dad. I'm fully aware.
Of that.
It's like, Christy's going to be a senior next year. He's going to move out soon. And I was like, damn, Daddy, are you trying to make me have a moment too? Like, I am fully aware of this.
You have to bring it up, right?
So then we call my brother, and you know, and I love my brother. My brother works really hard. My brother doesn't quite have the perspective that we do as poor people.
Yeah.
Even though we're doing okay, but you know, in his perspective, in his world, we are poor. Anyway, and they're all like, of course, when are you going to come see us? We've decided Christmas at our house this year. And I'm like, again, I don't know how many years I've told you, we can't travel that long for Christmas, especially now that Jay's varsity, because they have Christmas tournaments and it's basketball. And they're like, oh, well, I was like, it's his senior year.
Yeah.
And they're like, okay. And I was like, here's a thought. Maybe you all can come see us once.
Yeah.
Like, it's his senior year. You've never seen him play.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I had a bit of a moment with my brother. Like, listen, he was
like,
like,
I don't want to go to the hood.
He was like, yeah, I don't know. And I was like, you're a jerk.
Yeah.
So my brother is fabulous. My brother's very successful. My brother is incredibly wealthy, and he fixes all problems. If you call him and you're stressed or anything, he's like, do you need some money? And I'm like, no, I don't need any money. So, and we've been arguing for 17 years about who will be paying for my children to go to college.
Yeah.
Yeah. He thinks he's going to pay for it, and I'm like, why would you pay for my kids to go to college?
Because he's their uncle.
Yeah, well, he doesn't even want to come see him play. He just wants to write a check and take care of that. Well, I want him to come see him play. Okay. I would value that way more
than give him.
So, but you know, but then again, I mean, I might get that first tuition bill and be like,
hey, here you go. Here's the.
Never mind.
Here's the tuition bill.
So.
Well, I mean, you know,
but I've got school accounts. We're okay. I mean, depending on where they go.
Yeah. So
of course, you know, Jay wants West Point, which will be a free education.
Yeah.
And then Evan's latest is he wants to be a lineman, which is great, fabulous. If that's what you want to do, what a great way to see the world your first few years. You know,
lineman like
an electrical lineman,
TVA and stuff. Yeah.
Evan's afraid of heights, so I'm not sure how he's worked that out. But anyway, lineman school is like $5,000 or $6,000, and I'm like, man, when you're done with lineman school, I'm going on the best vacation ever because I have been saving for your education for 17 years, and there's a bunch of money in that account that I am going anywhere I want to go. Yeah. I probably won't do that though.
No.
I'll be like that. Well,
European
it's
vacation.
Your money. I've already been to Europe. I want to go to. I really want to go to Alaska.
Alaska's a great place to go in the summer.
I want to go to Alaska. I want to go to. I want to see the Grand Canyon, which I know is not next to Alaska.
Yeah.
You know, I'd like to see Yellowstone.
Yeah, the Grand Canyon, you want to go there somewhere in the spring.
I want to go.
You want to go in the summer.
I don't want to go anywhere in the summer. Summer sucks.
Well, in the summer, the best places to go is in Alaska.
You know where we're going this summer? Because my child, if he goes to West Point, this is his last summer at home, and he. So I was like, we're talking about summer vacation plans, and I said, all right, dude, we're gonna defer to you.
Vegas.
No, worse. We're going to defer to you. So what do you want to do for summer vacation? And in the back of my mind, I'm screaming, please, let's go to the beach. And he's like, I don't know. What are the options? And I was like, well, do you want to go to the beach? He's like, nah. I said, you want to go to the mountains? Nah. You want to go to a big city? Is there a city you want to see? You know, like, is there, you know, let's do something new.
Washington, D.C.
Well, we've been there. We've been there. They've not been to New York City.
No.
Anyway, so he's like, so I throw out last, do you want to go see family? He's like, yeah. See, I don't like to spend my hard-earned vacation money to go sit on somebody else's couch. And I said, okay, well, who do you want to go visit? Do you want to go see Papa? Because I could be close to a beach if we go see Papa, right? He's in Florida. Nah. You want to go see Mike? Nah. Said, well, where do you want to go? Because I've got family in Colorado. He wants to go see my mother. Anybody who knows me well knows that is not going to be a very relaxing vacation for me.
He's dropping him off at Mom's house, and then you can go stay at a hotel somewhere.
I call my mother, and I tell her, and of course she's very excited as she's sucking on her oxygen. And I call my cousin, and I'm like, hey, what week works for you? Because there's only like 2 weeks in the summer. There's like 2 long weekends that we can do this. But now both kids have beta conventions right in between this. It's going to be chaos. So, and it works out that we're going to get there on my mother's birthday.
Yeah. Well, there you go.
So, you know, it's going to make her feel all the love. But I'm not staying at my mother's house. I got a cabin, and it's on a lake, and there are 2 chairs and a fire pit, and I don't care who sleeps and who Wi-Fi's all day. I am going to load up my Kindle, and I am getting on those. I'm getting in those chairs because late June, early July in Michigan is like 72 degrees.
Yeah, there you go.
But my cousin's gonna come up, and we're gonna spend time talking to our old ass parents about what's the long-term plan when you all, you know, because you're all getting to the point that you don't get around very well, and where are you gonna go, and what's the plan, and what happens to the house that you all live in, like a bunch of old biddies. And then I'm gonna take Jay to Lambeau Field.
Maybe they need to be roomies.
They are roomies already.
Oh, they are?
Yeah, they all live together, but they all are like to a point where they can't really keep up with the house either.
Huh.
So anyway, I'm gonna take Jay to Lambeau Field one day. My cousin's husband is gonna bring up a bunch of 4-wheelers, and and that's it. And then we got to come back. We got to fly back into Nashville because Evan has Beta Club convention starting Sunday. So Sunday night we're gonna stay in Nashville. Monday I'm gonna drive Jay back home because he'll have to work or whatever. Or if he doesn't, then Jay and I will hang out in Nashville while Evan does Beta Club thing. And then we'll drive home late Tuesday. If I take Jay back Monday, I'll have to drive back up Monday to stay with Evan, and then Tuesday we'll come home, and then Wednesday or Thursday Jay goes to Nashville for his beta convention. So
that's a lot of stuff.
Why does everybody say that about my life?
What?
That's a lot.
That's
what
they
all say.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah, it's a lot.
You're always on the go, right?
I mean, I don't feel like it.
No?
It's just what it is.
It is what it is.
It is what it is, man.
Yeah.
It's really great to have good, successful, kids, but it's also
exhausting
and expensive.
And
right now they're doing the same fundraiser for Beta Club. So and I have, it's not like I have people to go to except at work. So I'm gonna be like, will you donate to both my kids? No. So I'm just gonna have to pay for it all.
Wow. I'll donate. You know me.
Well, I think Jay's. That's why he's volunteering at the Cornbread tomorrow, because their Beta Club got a donation for it. So
hit up your bestie. Your bestie always helps out, right?
So it's expensive, and they're staying at Opryland, which is a cool hotel.
Oh, yeah, that's expensive.
It's a cool hotel. Yeah. It's incredibly expensive, and also 14-year-olds could care less about Opryland.
Yeah.
They could absolutely care less.
Yeah. All they need is a place that has Wi-Fi, right? And they're happy.
Yeah, I mean, they'd stay at the Super 8. They don't care.
Yeah, as long as it's got Wi-Fi.
So, and so anyway, I'm going to go from Michigan to Opryland.
Yeah. Yeah.
So anyway.
That's pretty cool. I mean, that's cool.
I'm going to go from my mother's house to 1,000 screaming teenagers.
Yeah.
1,000 hormonal middle schoolers.
Well, you bunch of moms just go to Opryland Hotel. That's a big place. Group of moms go hit the bar.
They're all gonna want to watch their kids perform, and I'm gonna be like, I mean, I'd like to go see the Coliseum, and I'd like to go. I want to go hit a rooftop bar.
Played at the Ryman or.
I've been to the Ryman. I haven't been to Nashville in for a fun trip other than the airport in a long time. When I went.
Yeah, it's not the same anymore. It's become more like.
It's like little LA now.
Like New Orleans.
Yeah.
It's kind of become a bunch of drunk people stumbling through the streets, peeing on the streets and the alleys.
Well, then I'll fit right in.
So do you pee in the alleys?
No, but I might in Nashville.
In Nashville?
I might to get away from the hormonal teenagers.
Nowadays they don't even
I'm gonna go hang.
In the alleys. They'll just drop their.
Yeah, I'm gonna go there with a kid who
right in the streets
barely speaks to me.
Yeah. So.
That meme that when you go from mama to mom to bruh. Yeah.
Hey, bruh.
I leave in the morning to go to work. I love you, Evan.
At least he says, huh?
If I get that.
So there you go. That's teenage for
Again,
I love you,
this
mom.
is the worst podcast. Who is going to listen to all of this?
I don't know. Somebody's listening, right?
Nobody's
well, I mean,
listening.
some people.
This is I apologize to everybody who's listening to me ramble on about nothing.
Well, you know, some of the people that listen to us, I mean, they might, you know, might be going through the same stuff, right? So they'll relate.
I don't know.
They'll relate to you know, some of the mom stuff you're doing, right?
Look, I got an Instagram follow request. I don't know who it is.
I don't know who is it.
Robert Taylor.
Robert Taylor, you're up.
He has 6,000 followers, so he's just like
he's looking for more followers.
He's hitting to request everybody.
Yeah, he's looking for followers to bring up his numbers, right? Yeah.
So you sent me a list of things.
I sent you a list of things. I mean,
we're at 50 minutes. Do you want to talk about any of these things?
What do we have there?
You got Elon versus Twitter, Johnny Depp.
Yeah. Did you see that? Elon versus Twitter?
Yeah, I guess he wants to buy Twitter. Yeah.
He wants to buy Twitter, and everyone's like, you know.
He's trying to protect free speech, man.
He's not protecting nothing.
That's what he says.
Elon.
He says he's trying
Elon's protecting free speech, so he's going to protect free speech by
privatizing Twitter.
By privatizing Twitter? Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
That's his plan. He's going to privatize Twitter. You got Johnny Depp on here?
Oh, yeah, Johnny Depp. You know, what the hell's going on there?
Johnny Depp is suing his ex-wife, who seems a bit like a psycho outside of following the trial.
They're suing each other.
She seems like, I don't think she's suing him. He's suing her for libel because because she wrote an op-ed that she did not name him in, but that basically she, you know, basically described him and accused him of abusing her, and then he's lost a bunch of, I was trying to see if it's on my news page.
A bunch of contracts.
So like he lost the
Disney contract to the
Pirates of the Caribbean and all that. So, I mean, it does sound like she's a bit of a diva and a psycho based on like just other stories when you know, follow those things. But it sounds like it was kind of a mutual terrible relationship. Yeah. But it has spurred, if you've like watching things on, you know, and I go on social media enough to scroll for like 5 minutes. Yeah. You know, like, is it opening up eyes about men who are abused? Yeah. So, you know, and why
there are men that
there
are
absolutely
abused,
are men
right?
that are abused, or there's men who allow women to act psycho and crazy and don't defend themselves because of the, you know, because you can't hit a woman. So
yeah, because, you know, a lot of times, you know, the word of the woman is always taken before.
Well, especially now in the Me Too movement.
Especially in
like, you don't even have to prove it. You just have to put it out there, and it's. I mean, like, look, she said all this about Johnny Depp, and look at all he lost. Yeah. When it wasn't proven. Yeah. But he did say, like, so I was watching I was reading some of the testimony, and, you know, they asked, like, why did you decide to do this? And he was like, well, my children went to school and their friends were saying your dad's a wife beater. And he said, I just felt like I needed to stand up and fight that I didn't do this. But, like, if you read any of it, Lord, is he a wordy man. He is so wordy. Yeah. He is a strange character.
Yes, I mean, Johnny Depp in the movies is actually Johnny Depp in real life.
It's kind of like Nick Cage. Like, the only thing Nick Cage is good in is the stuff where he's like weird Nick Cagey. So
yeah. I mean, you know, the Johnny Depp you see in the Pirates of the Caribbean is actually
how he behaves.
Johnny Depp, excuse me.
So yeah, but it is interesting. It'll be interesting. I think it's going to be like a. I mean, it's a very he said she said. Yeah. So it's going to be interesting. I don't think he's going to win. Just because, you know, if you you read some of the stuff the defense is bringing up, but you know, but also, like, he's brought witnesses that were like on this plane ride that she swears he kicked her and did all these other things that are like, no, that never happened. Yeah. And then apparently, like, they got in a fight at the house and she threw a wine bottle at him and cut the tip of his finger off with it. So it was obviously a broken bottle before it hit him, I'm guessing. I don't know, but
And there was a story.
And of course, he didn't tell anybody that's how he did it. That's how it happened, because you wouldn't, right? I mean, if you and your hubs were in a drunken fight, you're probably, depending on where you are, what stage in the relationship, and you're famous, you're not going to say, "Yeah, my way threw a wine bottle at me."
There was a story where she got mad and she defecated on the bed.
Yeah, somebody shit on his bed. she told him it was the dogs, but he said that was not dog fecal matter.
That's crazy.
So I don't know that I could bring myself to do that. I would have to really, really not like a person to
poop on the bed.
And then, like, if it was your dog's, why would you leave it there?
Yeah.
But now, my grandfather had a dog. It was a miniature toy poodle. It was the spawn of Satan, that dog. It was, and it hated my dad. Apparently, like, my grandfather wasn't a big fan of my dad. So, and that dog went everywhere with him. Her name was Colette. Colette was a terror.
Yeah.
But if they came over and we didn't have my parents' bedroom door closed, that dog would come up and shit or pee on my dad's pillow every time it came over. So, I mean, I guess it is possible.
He was trained.
And my dad was like, "Man, if that dog outlives Grandpa, that dog is mine." But it did, man, and I don't know if Grandpa trained it to do that. But
it could be. It would surprise me.
But that dog would shit on my dad's pillow or on his side of the bed every time. We were all like, "Somebody, where's the dog? Rush upstairs, make sure the door was closed." So.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Dogs.
So, but that was the story that she said that was dogs that...
The dogs that pooped on the bed.
But, like, if your dog pooped in the bed, why wouldn't you clean it up?
Well, maybe she's a diva. She was going to clean it up.
Well, and then you got, like, they had their therapist testify, and their therapist was like, they were just terrible together. They were both terrible. They had really terrible fights. And, like, she has assistants who are coming forward talking about how awful she was, and she would call them in the middle of the night screaming at them, and... how
is she
awful
an
the
actress?
working conditions. Yeah, she was in Aquaman. She's the redhead in Aquaman. But there was a bunch of stuff, like something came out proving that she was lying about something. And I don't know if it was related to Johnny Depp. I don't know enough about it to make a comment. But they cut her from the second Aquaman movie, which is why it hasn't
come out yet.
Yeah, did Aquaman 2 come out? I feel like it didn't.
I don't think so.
Because they had to recast her.
Yeah.
I think.
The redheaded in Aquaman. I'm trying to remember who the redheaded in Aquaman was.
She was like the...
I don't know if I saw the Aquaman movie.
What?
Was she like the princess or...
Yeah.
I don't remember if I saw the Aquaman. I mean, I remember Aquaman from the...
Like, it doesn't even look like the same person that you're seeing in this court case.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I know who you're talking about then.
So, but I want to see her in... maybe Aquaman 2 did... Oh, Aquaman 2 is coming out in 2023.
2023? Yeah.
Oh, now it says she won't be removed from Aquaman 2.
Yeah. It was probably going to cost them too much.
I guess there was an online campaign that called for her to be taken out of it.
Taken out, and they're like, no.
But see, that's the thing, too. Like, I mean, here we are still in the court of public opinion where he loses all his...
credibility.
Well, he loses his contracts and his jobs.
And she doesn't.
And, just on the word of her, and she gets to stay on because, because what is the persona if it, or the, I don't know, what are you putting out there if you cut a woman who might have been the victim of abuse? But the same thing, like, what if he's the victim of abuse? Yeah. And I don't know that in this kind of case you can ever prove otherwise unless somebody actually saw it. Which is the same story for like women who were legit, like really abused. It is all he said, she said.
I think it's a cultural thing, right? Because
right now it's just
really
this
look down on men that say they got abused or even sexual harassment, right?
But you and I just talked. Well, you thought it was okay that Will Smith smacked Chris Rock.
If a guy says hey, I'm a victim of sexual harassment, and from my female boss, people were like, dude, come on, you know what I mean? And that's just the culture, right? So
yeah. So, but I mean, it happens. So.
Oh, speaking of that,
have you been sexually harassed at work?
No.
Oh, all right.
I don't think so.
I have my entire career, so.
Yeah.
I think that's the thing. Like, it's the worst. Like, if I reported every time I was sexually harassed, it would be a lot of records.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Probably the worst of my career was at where we used to work together. Probably shouldn't name that, but yeah, probably the worst. Early on, when it was not owned by Ream, it wasn't as bad when I came back, but it was pretty bad
when it was still Artco.
Yeah, it was pretty awful.
Yeah, those were back in the day. There was not much training on sexual harassment, stuff like that. It was very loose.
They had a,
back in those days.
I forget what he was like. He was like the customer care manager or whatever, but he was terrible. He was awful. Like, he would brag about how he hired people based on their appearance.
Yeah.
And I remember.
Is he the guy that referred to the women in the customer service as their what do you call it?
Oh, I don't know.
What do you call a group of women?
I don't know. A group of women?
Yeah.
I don't know, but I remember.
I've heard about that guy.
I remember one day I looked at him and I was like, one day I'm going to call this place Thanks. And his name is Thanks Rich. He was awful.
Yeah, that's the guy. I've heard stories
Yeah.
about that guy.
He was the son-in-law of the plant manager at the time.
Yeah, that's why he was able.
Well, he was also really good at his job.
Yeah.
But he was a terrible.
He was a dirtbag.
Yeah, he was kind of a
Dirtbag. Yeah.
And I've had bosses who've, like, you know, touched my knee and told me they wanted me to be better. Were trying to make me a better person, a better employee. I've had bosses that have, like, come up behind me and, like, caged me in. Yeah. Yeah. And early on in my career, it wasn't as easy for me to be like, dude, back off. Now I'm like, excuse me. What are you doing?
Yeah.
You might want to rethink your choices here.
Yeah. Yeah. So
I didn't always. I wouldn't react that way. In the past.
No.
Anyway.
Throwing an elbow, pop.
No, I didn't do that in the past either. I just sort of froze. Like, I totally get when people talk about, like, why they didn't report it or why, because it was like
intimidating.
You just freeze. Like, did that just happen?
Yeah.
Or you're like, I don't really know what to say right now. And, like, you have that awkward laugh, like, what just
happened?
Yeah. I remember there was a guy there that would, well, I don't want to tell that story.
No.
Yeah. All right, anyway, what else?
Anyway, so that was so that's what I remember seeing an article, and I don't know if it's true. I just kind of saw an article. I didn't read the article. I just saw the headline that said that now Will Smith and Jada Pinkett are getting divorced.
Oh, I doubt that's true.
So I just kind of saw the I didn't read the article.
That would be all over the headlines.
Yeah,
but I think they all were like.
I think I saw that. So you know.
That would be all over the place.
I don't know if that was.
I saw something like on her show, whatever she does, that show. She has like her own little talk show, like internet talk show, that they were in a place of healing, and that would be all she was saying about it until they were done.
Yeah, so I don't know. I mean, I saw that. I didn't really pay attention to it because, like, you know.
And then somebody was talking about how it's negatively impacting her career and all these things. So.
Yeah. So, anyways,
yeah.
I
don't think they're divorcing.
No. So I mean, that's all I had. I mean, the other thing I did was, I went to the dentist.
I need to go to the dentist. I've been to the dentist.
I gotta Monday. I gotta go in. I gotta go in and get my other two wisdom teeth pulled out.
Ooh.
So
I still no. I don't have some of mine. Were just pulled at the dentist.
I'm gonna get dumber.
Yeah.
Now,
there
so
you go.
I'm gonna be old and dumb instead of old and wise.
Listen,
but
I haven't been to the dentist in years. Now my children go, but they're overdue because I think my dentist husband got sick, so she like closed the office for a while. But I really need to, and I called today and they were closed on Fridays. Darn it. But yeah, I am ashamed to say, and now I don't want to go because I'm afraid they're going to be like, when was the last time you were at the dentist? Because like all the buildup, I'm sure that's in there that they need to scrape off. And I have a cousin and an aunt who are dental hygienists that hopefully don't listen to this.
Yeah.
Because if they do, I'm going to get a phone call. But yeah, it's awful. And I brush and floss and all those things, but I haven't been to it's been a lot of years.
Yeah.
Like more than 2. It's terrible.
It's terrible.
It's terrible.
What's wrong with you?
Man, it's hard to fit into my schedule.
But anyways,
Self-care
so I went, and she's like, my dental hygienist, and she's like, what's all those little bumps inside your mouth and stuff? I said, I don't know. I said, I get them every once in a while. I said, they feel like little blisters.
Yeah.
But like tiny ones. You know what I mean? So, so I told her, I said, I don't know what it is. So, the dentist came in and she looked at it and she's like, yeah, that's, I don't know, you can Google it. I can't remember what.
Well, I don't know what to Google if you don't tell me.
I don't want to,
Sounds like thrush.
It's, basically, so she's like, it's just something that primarily happens in men, I guess. I'm like, oh, okay. It's, was named after the doctor. You know, some guy. I don't know if it's an Irish doctor, or whatever.
I don't know how to. I'm looking up
It's,
inner mouth rash.
She called it. I'll spell it to you. It's F-U-T-E-I-N M-O-W-T-H disease.
Foot and mouth disease. Jesus, you didn't even spell that right.
I know.
Oh.
Of course, I wasn't gonna spell it right. I was gonna
That's something babies get: hand, foot, and mouth disease.
So it's foot and mouth disease.
Look, and now my Google history has inner mouth sores on it, inner mouth rash.
Yeah, so I don't know.
Oh my God, I should have done that on dark mode.
What is it?
Because that's going to be, what, hand, foot, and mouth disease? It's just like a virus you get, but it's usually like a foot and mouth disease.
Foot and mouth disease. Foot and mouth disease. Get it?
I get it.
No, I don't have that. It's just a joke.
I should have done that on dark mode. There's no telling what's going to show up on my phone now.
That's why it only happens to men. Foot and mouth disease. Get it?
My doctor's going to be like, do we need to talk about sexually transmitted diseases? You got a mouth rash going on? Jesus.
Anyways.
Anybody who hung on this long. It's the highlight of the whole thing.
Highlight of the whole thing, Raul.
And he's been waiting all episode for that.
Raul's back with his dumb dad jokes. That's probably why it makes me laugh, because
all this time have you been trying to figure out how to fit that in?
Because they're so terrible that they're so terrible.
You're the only one laughing.
I know, because it's so terrible that it makes you laugh, because it's so terrible.
Makes me roll my eyes.
It makes you roll your eyes. And then you laugh at me.
Cannot believe I googled that.
Anyways, guys, that was the highlight of the episode.
Let's end it.
You know, maybe this will be my short clip to entice people to watch it, right? And they're gonna be like, man, this what's a letdown. Not like when they show the movie trailers.
If you put a video clip of me saying, my doctor's going to ask me about sexually transmitted diseases, I promise this will be the last time anybody hears me on this podcast.
I'm not.
Ever.
It's not like the first time you've said that.
Listen, I'm learning how to say no and cut back my schedule. I'll do it.
Yeah. So she's gonna cut back her schedule.
I'll do it.
I'm the one that's on the cut list.
We're gonna find a replacement Christy.
Yeah. I'm on the cut list.
You need to find guest hosts.
I'm hanging by a string, guys.
You need to find guest hosts so that I don't have to come as often.
Once a month.
Because next week's not gonna happen.
No. Yeah, which is fine.
And then depending on how he does it, sectionals, the next week is state, and it's down in southern Alabama, so I won't be doing it then either.
Yeah, so maybe it'll build up the intensity that people want to hear us. Oh.
If I'm not on it, maybe. That might be what you need. That doesn't hurt my feelings.
What?
If somebody else comes on and they get you better viewers.
I didn't say somebody else was coming. I was just saying, if we don't do it as often, maybe that people...
Oh, I got you.
You know what I mean?
I thought you meant like guest host.
No.
Guest Christies.
No.
You should have guest Christies.
There's no such thing as a guest Christy. It's either Christy...
a replacement Christy.
There's no replacement Christy.
You need a replacement Christy.
Are you telling me that...
You need a stand-in if you want to do this more often.
Well, yeah. I mean, I'm fine whenever we do it, right? So... anyways, guys,
just gives it more time to come up with those shitty dad jokes.
Yes, because we were thinking. I've got a few down my sleeve, but
it's up your sleeve, not down your sleeve.
Up my sleeve. I don't have sleeves.
Oh, sweet Jesus!
I think it's time to cut it.
Done.
All right, guys. So this was us again. We just rambled on and.
For an hour and 8 minutes.
Christy's about had it with me.
I'm about 5 minutes
She's
past
about
that.
5 minutes past that. So thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time. So bye, everybody.
Golly.